My name's Mark Denchfield and I'm an actor and a writer and a director, but I'm really an actor and a producer, can't forget that. So the project that I'm in is a short film called Brown Sugar, which is written by David and Jenny and produced by the wonderful Saru. The character I play in the film is, I play a character called Tim, and he is a man who works in the city and has an acquired taste for paying for sex. Outside forces at work within the film and how did they influence my character. So the outside forces at work within the film, that's interesting because within my character, he isn't aware of the story between Leanne and Fidel. So how I kind of did my character was, or what I based my character on is someone who is very much he very much wants control, and he doesn't have that in certain aspects of his life. So I guess taking from the piece or the outside influences, I would say he imposes his control, or he tries to impose his control over Leanne in the piece. The biggest challenge of taking on this role, that's a good question. So the biggest challenge of taking on this role was my character is to kind of serve the story to show that the lowest point of Leanne's journey within the piece. But what I tried to do with that is to make the character, instead of playing it to an obvious or to a for the lack of a better term, stereotypical kind of person that would go down that sort of pathway with paying for a prostitute. I tried to make him a little bit interesting. I actually had a little thing that I haven't told no one about. I don't even know if I should share it with the character. Would you like me to share it?
Share it.
Would you like me to share it? Okay, so whether this translates or not, who knows? But I told David actually afterwards what I did. It has no bearing on the piece, but I played my character Tim as a serial killer, and in his mind, there's a point where they have an exchange, and Leanne, there's a bit of like an attitude towards her, and that she puts upon Tim. And in playing this character in my head at the time, I was thinking, do you live or do you die? Should I let you walk out of the room or should I not let you walk out of the room? Just to give it a little something that maybe people go, there's something about that and I don't really know what it is. Whether that works or not, I guess we will see. What qualities do I like or dislike? There's a lot of qualities with Tim that I dislike. His outlook is very much, he's chauvinistic, so he believes man is superior to a woman, which is something I don't align myself with at all. And so I dislike that characteristic. He's very controlling. He wants to dominate. He wants to, he's power thirsty. And because he pays Leanne to sleep with him, he feels that he has this power, it's almost a taboo for him to be able to be so controlling and to try and get her to do things that, just to have her as submissive. So they're obviously the qualities that I disliked, but found interesting to explore. Qualities that I like about Tim. The qualities I like about Tim, at least he knows who he is, and he knows what he wants. Whether that's a good thing or not, but he knows what he wants. He knows what's lacking in certain aspects of his life, and he does what he does to fulfill that, which maybe there's something admirable about that. It's an interesting question. I think there's challenges in everything that we do, anything that's creative as well, because it's an art. And the thing with art is it's not scientific. It's not 1 + 1 is 2. It's subjective, and some people will like it, and some people won't like it. So a challenge is kind of in the industry is sometimes it's just believing in yourself, believing that if you work hard and you train hard and you put your heart and soul into something, then it will work out, because the success is a byproduct of the craft and the graft of the craft. There you go, you can take that. Graft of the craft. What is the best piece of advice I've ever been given? I've been given some great advice literally about an hour ago. Best piece of advice, do you know what? This is it's stuck in my head actually. Someone told me this about an hour ago, is that how we judge success is through money or through, I've booked a role and on a Netflix show or a film or something like that, and I'm going to be paid handsomely for that, and then that is the success. Actually, the success comes first, and then the money or other things come later. You won't get paid before you book the job. And to know that if you are creating and if you are working on things and you know what you want to do and you're working towards that, then ultimately you're successful, and you should always celebrate the small victories that we have. I was given that advice about an hour ago. So what is my dream role? I have a few answers. Can I give you a few? Okay, so my dream role, first one pops into my head is Bond, James Bond. But also, I'd want to be in the DC cinematic universe. So I've got Superman would be an amazing role. It'd take a lot of time in the gym, but it's something I'll be prepared to do if Warner Brothers are ever going to see this. Yeah, I think they're the ones that just pop into my head off the top of my head. Again, I'd like to be in the Rocky universe as well, cinematic universe. But my dream role is any role really. In truth, my dream role is anything I can get my teeth into, and really I have to break down and kind of get to the crux of it. So every role, in fairness, has the opportunity to be a dream role if you do it properly. Was there a particular production that inspired me to get into film? Yes, but it's not just one. I can just, so my favourite film of all time is Jaws. It's perfect from start to finish, and I will argue with anybody who tries to challenge me on that. But performances, I remember seeing Al Pacino in Godfather, and just that just blew me away. But also films like Point Break, Catherine Bigelow. If that's someone I'd love to be directed by. So there's just loads. There's loads. I get inspired all the time, so I can't really give you a definitive answer, because inspiration comes all the time, and it's something I ever wanted to do. I always wanted to be the player, not the coach, if that makes sense. But so I always wanted to, if I see something like I want to do that. So that's what I'm trying to do.